Hey everyone, this video is in response to Hard Knocks Forge's request about old tools and favorite tools and tools you've inherited and what they mean to you, and do they have a spiritual meaning to you and such. I went through all my toolbox. I have 3 rollers back here, and I went through them all, and these are what I picked out that actually mean something to me. The rest of them, they're nice to have, and I worked hard for them, but they don't mean a whole lot. I could replace them if I had the money, and I have replaced them. My father died about 15 years ago, and he'd had MS, for multiple sclerosis, for a little while. And he was an auto body and painting guy, a mechanic, a heavy-duty mechanic, a welder. And so he had a lot of tools, and before he passed away, he gave them to me. And I had them for a long time, and one day, about shortly after I had them for maybe a couple of years, somebody broke into the shop I had them at, and they actually cut through a wall and stole the whole toolbox full of tools. Another guy that worked there, they got all his tools too, and took my welder. The other stuff I didn't care about. It was my father's tools that really bummed me out, because we never had a great relationship, but I learned a lot of things from him mechanically, and I think it's almost like I didn't learn from him, it was just passed on genetically. I mean, I never did anything, I wasn't raised by him, but somehow I ended up doing the same things as he did. Painting cars, body work, welding, mechanical, that type of thing. The only thing I didn't really pick up from him was carpentry. I'm a lousy carpenter. Just don't even let me near lumber. So yeah, so one of the things that means something to me is my stubby Astro Pneumatics impact wrench, and it means something to me because it's something I'd wanted for a while but never really bought for myself because I didn't need it, I just wanted it. But my wife bought it for me for Christmas last year, and I've used it a ton, like all the time. And the same with this light. It's a little USB light. I wanted an Astro Pneumatics, but she ended up getting me this one, and I really like it actually. It's turned out to be one of my favorite lights. It's bright, USB rechargeable, has a decent magnet on it, so that's one thing. Another thing is, out of all those tools that were stolen, this is the only thing I have left. This pair of needle nose pliers. I don't even know what brand they are. All you can see is Taiwan. I've had these probably since I was 12 years old, maybe younger. They happened to be in my car at the time when everything else was stolen, so I still have them. And they still work awesomely. I mean, the teeth are still there. They still cut wire, they strip wire. They've just been around forever, and they feel like an old friend when I have them. Another thing is this old Proto War Finish 3/8 inch ratchet. It was given to me by a friend, and I mean, I've got probably 20 or so 3/8 ratchets, maybe more, and I find myself grabbing this one. It's just smooth and comfortable, and it just feels right. I like it. A couple other things. These wood-handled screwdrivers were made for me by a friend. He handmade these out of, this is hardened rebar that he made, and he made the wooden handles. I don't use wooden handle screwdrivers too much, but they're really cool, and I like the fact that he made them. They're really neat. One more thing also was given to me is this. These used to be given out years ago. Hardware stores, part supply places, gas stations. And it's a little Proto flat screwdriver. It goes on your keychain. And usually they were stamped on the back by whatever store it was. And this one, in this case, it's Harms. And it's marked Proto Manufactured USA on the front. And there's millions of these things out around, not too many in Canada, but a friend in the United States sent me this, and it's really cool. Like, keep it, I'll always keep it. The last thing, not really a tool, is this bottle opener. I used to be a bartender, from about the time I was 18 to 25, I would say, on and off, working evenings while I did mechanic work in the day. And one of the liquor reps gave me this. Old Vienna beer. I don't even think they make Old Vienna beer anymore. But it's a regular bottle opener like that, and a twist that just fits over the bottle cap and you twist it. And believe me, the twist things, when you're twisting off 200-300 bottles a day or an evening, your hand gets kind of sore. So this was awesome. I keep it, and it also has a little slit in there for opening beer cans. You slide the tab in and lift. So I've had this forever, and this side I actually ground down to use it as a spacer on a grinder I had at the time. I just needed something quickly, and ran it on the belt sander, thinned it down a little bit, and yeah, I still got it. Use it all the time. It's hanging on the side of my tool bench, or workbench, sorry, and I've just had it forever. So yeah, these are my things. I don't believe in any spiritual connection really. Maybe I do with some of the older tools like this one. I just wonder sometimes how many people have had this. What's been repaired with this? It'd be really neat to know. You know, how many things has this taken apart and fixed? How much money has this saved someone? You know, I'm sure this is a pretty treasured tool by someone because it's in really good shape and it's really old. So somebody obviously cared enough to take good care of this. So things like that. And I've got a few other older tools. I buy used tools. I buy at auctions and garage sales, flea markets. So I just bought a whole bunch of tools a while ago online. It was a lot of tools from a woman whose father died and he was a farmer. So I've got a lot of SAE sockets and wrenches from, he was a farmer, so I mean some of them are huge, up to 2 inches. That I imagine those things are really old. Some of them are old proto, like going back to the 40s. And they're just neat. I just wonder what they've been used for in all that time. A lot of tractors, a lot of trucks. So it's cool stuff. So yeah, that's about it. What I'd like to see done, like the frugal prepper mentioned about passing his tools on to his kids. I don't have any kids. My wife has children, but they're grown and they're not really into tools. One's a lawyer, the other's a social worker. And I have a nephew that's a mechanic. And I've already told my wife she can go through all my stuff and have whatever she wants. But I'd like the tools and toolbox to go to my nephew so they can get used and appreciated. I've talked to him about it, and I mean, he has a full set of tools, but he'd love to have them. He works in a shop, has his tools in the shop, and they'd be great for him to have at home. So that's my plan. I don't want to see him sold to someone and then parted out or sold and resold for someone to make money. I just want to see him used, you know, carry on and keep fixing things after I'm gone. So yeah, that's it. So thanks for watching and good luck to everyone.